Hi, I'm Maria, and this is the Agile State of Mind. Welcome! Today, we're going to talk about giving and receiving gratitude, public recognition, and how giving kudos work. A good rule of thumb for giving feedback is to praise in public and criticize in private. I would like to talk about both kinds of feedback in separate episodes. So today we're going to talk about how to foster a culture of recognition and why it's important for our agile companies. We will learn about different kinds of motivation. I will explain what kudos are and how our Kudo Box can go digital. Let's see how to give thanks like a pro. Plus, I'll give you a short summary of what Management 3.0 and Nonviolent Communication has to say about recognition. Let's start! As Scrum Masters and Agile coaches, we're continuously searching for improvement. Are we just as frequently stopping to celebrate what went well? We all love receiving gratitude, so why aren't we expressing it often enough? The recognition culture is precisely about avoiding the typical pitfall of no matter how hard you work, you never hear a good word from anybody. But make one mistake and there's always somebody jumping all over you. From my experience, one of the first steps to foster the culture of recognition is to start with kudos. I first learned about kudos from Jürgen Appello's book on Management 3.0. I have a version with pictures, which is called Managing for Happiness. If you haven't learned about it, I highly recommend getting yourself a copy. Especially if you're thinking about becoming a manager, this is a must read. It gamifies the experience and is very easy to read and put in practice. I explain more about Management 3.0 and leadership best practices in my video, Agile Leadership. Kudos are described in the first chapter of the book. The subtitle goes, Motivate People with Better Rewards. First, let's explain the two different kinds of motivation and why it's so important. Let's talk about intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation is fueled by external rewards like money, grades, or praise. For example, the typical employee of the month. The common pitfall here is that people stop doing work for the joy of a well-done job and start looking for those rewards. And the rewards based on outcomes increase the risk of cheating. People will find any shortcut to get the bonus, but in the process, they may lose the enjoyment of work. Just think about all those bankers in the US in 2008 who gave out mortgages to their customers like candies just to get their cut. Here's how a poorly thought bonus scheme can drown not only a company, but whole countries. Of course, here we are talking about knowledge work, creative work. In environments where you have a lot of repetitive work, the rewards may actually keep you going. Intrinsic motivation is different. Here, the behavior is triggered from within a person, according to their values and judgments. It is where true engagement will come from. Alright, so what are the kudos and what do they have to do with intrinsic motivation? Kudo cards are small tokens employees can give each other when they want to express gratitude. I am used to using the template Jürgen Appello shared on his website, which is basically like this. And I tell you, I have a collection of my kudos because it's just super cool to receive them. But you can use anything. It can be even a short message on Slack. In the old normality, in the office, we would put a Kudo box, whatever box. It could be a shoe box or just one of those boxes where you can, on top, just put some different kudos just for visibility. Put it in the cafeteria or by the water cooler where a lot of people pass by. And then we ask employees to write those little kudos to each other and put them in the box. Then on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, on kind of informal get-togethers of the company, we would read aloud the kudos. And those that receive the kudo would come and pick it up. So we know who that is. Hence, public recognition. In the remote reality, where many of us will stay for a little longer or forever, you can create a Kudos channel on your Slack or Teams. And you can make use of an online tool I like to use, kudobox.co, which generates a digital kudos. Once you write your kudo there, it can be downloaded, or you can take just a screenshot of it and post it on the Kudo channel while tagging the person you wish to express gratitude to. In my company, the kudos come in on the channel on a daily basis. How do kudos help our intrinsic motivation? When we receive thanks from other colleagues in the form of kudos, it's usually unexpected and a sincere way to give thanks. Recognition and public praise elevate our social status. That's why we feel so good when we're praised. Giving kudos is a way of recognizing each other, and not only top to bottom, but between the peers. And it is much harder to cheat the system if the rewards are not anticipated, scheduled, or promised in advance. Plus, having a community that enjoys their interactions helps to keep their engagement and loyalty. Elevating social status may seem like an external motivation, right? And to a certain extent it is. However, status can be a very personal trait. Feeling that others value your input, your experience, and willingness to help can go hand in hand with your internal values. In his book, Jürgen Apollo lists 6 traits of positive rewards. Let's take a look at them now. 1. Don't promise rewards in advance. Yearly bonus, the employee of the month, those are anticipated rewards. Research shows, however, that when acknowledgement of work comes as a surprise, intrinsic motivation will not be undermined. Hence, kudos are unexpected. 2. Keep anticipated rewards small. There are a lot of stories of hackathons gone bad when a big prize was set. During these innovation days, when people focus on getting the reward instead of getting a super innovative idea, then creativity is hindered. Because instead of being creative, you focus on what the CTO would love most. So you get the prize. So keeping anticipated rewards small is a good idea to keep the intrinsic motivation. And as in the hackathon, we just recognize the winners and give them a beer instead of a trip to Las Vegas. I will be hated for this forever. 3. Reward continuously, not once. Celebrate daily wins and key accomplishments on a daily basis. Don't wait for a big event to celebrate. Just like giving kudos on a daily basis to keep the spirit up. 4. Reward publicly, not privately. As mentioned previously, the key is to reward in public so everybody knows who is rewarded and why. 5. Reward the behavior and not the outcome. Outcomes can be achieved through shortcuts and cheating. We all know something about it, right? And behavior is about the hard work and effort. 6. Reward peers, not subordinates. Peers can know better than the management which colleague deserves a reward. A great practice I noticed in some of the companies is to tie the company values to the recognition. Let's imagine that one of our company values is being collaborative. Then, on the Kudo cards, instead of a typical great job, you can put collaborative. Typically, you'd have a description of what collaborative means for your company, and it can serve as a guide to people when they want to say thanks to another person. And then people are much better fitted to recognize those qualities in other people's behavior. Alright, so now we know what the kudos are, why we need appreciation, and also the distinction between the intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Let's now see what we actually write on those cards. To me, that's the most important part, and I highly recommend you watch some of the videos about nonviolent communication by Marshall Rosenberg. He talks a lot about feedback and communication between people. And he explains why saying just great job or you're awesome actually means nothing. And I try to get more conscious about it whenever I want to give appreciation to other people. And when I receive appreciation, I try to also ask, okay, thank you for telling that I'm great, but I would like to know, what did I do to make you feel this way? So when expressing gratitude, we want to let the other person know specifically what they did to make our life more wonderful for us. He gives 3 points about how to express gratitude. First, describe a concrete action, what the other person did that made you feel great. Second, add the feeling. How did it make you feel? I felt relieved when you offered to help. I felt energized after the warm-up you did before the exercise. And then as a third one, you can include what need of yours has been met. I felt relieved when you offered to help because I felt completely lost and didn't know how to start this presentation. Think about, how does it feel to receive this kind of feedback? One is, you're brilliant. And second one is, I felt very energized after the warm-up of the exercise. Thank you, because I was really reluctant to go to this training. And you helped me participate actively. Which feedback would you rather get? Okay, and last but not least, let's not forget about receiving feedback. So how to react when we get this appreciation? Because the truth is that we are sometimes at some kind of unease when we receive gratitude, right? Marshall Rosenberg says that we are used to receive gratitude in 2 very polar ways, both coming from egotism. One is when we feel superior because we deserve this gratitude. And second, and I think actually most common, is that we shrug it off. Like, that's nothing. Nie ma za co. De nada. I think every language has this kind of expression, right? Thank you. Oh, that's nothing. Rosenberg calls it false humility, as it denies the importance of appreciation. Why not receive gratitude joyfully? Why not just say, I'm happy I could help? To do that, we need to stop fearing receiving thanks from other people. For that, I really like the following lines from Marianne Williamson. She wrote, "Playing small doesn't save the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people don't feel insecure around you." And my favorite one, when we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And that's all for today. I hope you will get some inspiration to start giving and receiving gratitude in joyful and happy manner. And believe me, a culture of recognition can be trained, and we can do it in our own way, so it best fits us and our company, and we don't feel that it's forced or faked. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.